Okay, so I'm going to give room 7 students a tour of my house. We're starting in the dining room, living room area. This is where Martha and Tom and Adrian and I have our meals and also do a lot of work. One thing that's kind of interesting about it is our house is kind of high up, and so we can see people walking by. And you can see that little box out there, that is our little free library, which Adrian made. So we see people coming and looking at the books and sometimes taking them. This is one of our many bookshelves. You can see Super Bear there, whom you met a few weeks ago, and various other things that are on the bookshelves as well, mostly projects of Tom's. After the dining room, I'll show you the kitchen. This is our refrigerator, which is covered with pictures of friends and family and some people you might recognize. I see Sahara there from her holiday card. Some of you might know Ms. Julie. And we have a little height chart for Martha and Tom, but Martha is now over the top of it, so no more pictures for Martha. After you go through the kitchen, I'm going to try not to go too fast and make you dizzy. This is a sort of, I don't know what this is, a little pantry area. And then out the back door is our backyard. And we have bird feeder, which I mentioned in one of my videos about Abel that some of you may have seen and some of you are going to see. This is our little bird house, which now has a family of titmice living in it. And we can see people going by on the street. This is another view of our book box. I've put a quotation from a book that I love on the side of it. Every day I'm going to put a different quotation from a different book. And yeah, there's some work going on in our garden. Adrian's been chopping off some limbs of trees. So you can see a little log down there. Usually on the weekends you'll see our laundry hung up on that line, but right now it's already been brought in. I'm going to come back inside now. Where we hang all our stuff when we come in. You'll recognize that scarf. My bags that I bring the stuff to school in. This is our office, which usually just has one computer in it, but Adrian has brought his computer home from work, so he's doing some work here. I love our office windows, which have such lovely greenery. And next door, you can see our neighbor's house. Our neighbor has a friend of Tom's who's just about Tom's age, and they're in the same grade. So it was really nice for them to be able to be neighbors, although right now we're not spending time with them. We're keeping our distance, of course. Up here on our sort of ceiling, wall ceiling thing, these are artworks that the two outer ones, the one with the sun and the one with the wind, were from students. I bought them at the art auction. This is another of our bookshelves, a lot of novels there. I'll take you to Adrian's and my bedroom. This is our bedroom, and more books. Those are books that I'm planning to read, and I'll probably have time to get to them now. Those are books that Adrian has read. This bookshelf Adrian made for our space in here, and it's gotten already filled up. And it's got, over there, those are like some of my favorite novels of all time. These are books that I've read more recently, and some of these, you know, I've talked in school about book clubs. So a lot of these books are books that I've read in a book club that I'm in, where we read nonfiction books and try to learn a lot about politics and science. And coming over here, not very interesting, I'll just show you the bathroom, which Adrian has actually been painting. Also books in the bathroom. And then over here, this is our music room. So it holds Adrian's bass guitar and Martha's mandolin, which she doesn't really play. Martha mostly plays the fiddle, and also you can see her trumpet there. She plays at school. That's my banjo. That's Tom's guitar. And in the container is Adrian's saxophone, but oh no, that's actually Tom's school saxophone, which is a tenor sax. And my other banjo and my guitar. More books, but mostly photo books, not actually reading books. Oh, and this is a guitar which Adrian and Tom built, but it doesn't really play very well. Now I'm going to take you back out by the piano and the dining room. This is the living room where we spend a lot of time. This is another bookshelf. These are books that mostly are like nature guides or hiking guides to the area. And we used to have only books in our fireplace, and before that we had stuffy toys to keep the kids from going in there when they were little. We haven't ever used it as a fireplace. This out here is the porch, and yesterday, which was Saturday, Tom and Martha and Adrian and I tidied it up. So this is the Lego area. I've told you, some of you, about the Lego porch. What are you doing, Tom?
Making something.
What are you making? Helicopter. So you can see some of Tom's creations. There's a foosball table he made out of Lego, a pyramid. This is a biplane Adrian constructed. It's from a kit, but he just looked at it online. One week when Martha was sick, he had a lot of time. These are some safes that Tom has made. If you have Lego and you are bored, you probably already know this, but you can look online for so many different ideas, or you can just come up with ideas. This is another of Tom's creations, which is a Lego baseball stadium, and there's like people in the stands, and there's also sort of food areas where you can buy different food. This used to be a dollhouse and play area up until recently, but now we're repurposing it. I'm not sure what it's going to be. And this is part of Tom's a spacecraft that he built, the little nose cone, I think. I'm going to take you downstairs. There's not going to be a test on this, so if you don't want to keep watching, I will not be offended. This is our sort of back gate and our neighbor's house. And going down the stairs, you can see, that's right, another bookshelf. These are, some of my favorite books. The whole top shelf and one of the thirds of the second shelf are African American novels mostly, and some history. And then there's a load of books about child development and education, and some more nonfiction about sort of sociology. Over here, this is a height chart, and this is actually a copy of a beam that was in my uncle and aunt's cabin. So when they moved, they copied all the information, including my dad in 1986 and my grandfather in 1983, and how tall I was in the 80s. And then we've been adding to it ever since. So they made a copy and they gave it to all of the children of my generation. You can see artwork from previous years. Some of you will recognize that. That's Eclipse from a couple of years ago, the Alma Thomas artwork. Also on this bookshelf we have some of the books that my family and I have enjoyed reading aloud together. And here we have a little tiny bookshelf which is full of Who Was books, those books like Who Was Louis Armstrong that we read together, and also Martha and Tom's graphic books, which they just love. And over here, this is Martha's room. Martha is on her bed, and guess what she's doing? She's reading. What are you reading, Martha? Is it good?
Yeah, good.
Good. And this is where Martha spends her time, mostly reading. She also has a lot of books. You're noticing a theme here. We've been culling some of the books, trying to make more space, but we still have plenty of them. This is an artwork that Sarah Kashima organized for my students a few years ago. And down through there is the basement, a map with lots of places in California. And then this is Tom's room. And we actually just spent some time sorting out his books. So he doesn't have as many as he did before. We definitely need some more construction on a bookshelf, which might be a project for Tom and Adrian soon. We also have loads of games here. And again, I think we might need to sort some of those out. Tom lately, this is his bunk bed. We've talked about how some of you have bunk beds, and Tom does too. But lately, Martha has been sleeping on the bottom bunk of Tom's bunk bed, and Tom has decided to decamp to his closet. So this is Tom's closet, and he decided the other day that he wanted to sleep in there. So that's where he's been sleeping. Okay, maybe I'll just transfer to, yeah, okay, I think I'll stop there. Kind of a long video, and the next thing you see from me will be more of Abel's Island. Oh, this is Martha and Tom's downstairs bathroom. Okay, I miss you all. Speak to you soon, I hope. Bye-bye.